Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building. That's right. Back at it again. Back and better than ever.
Better.
Ready to dominate yet again. Some good conversation to be had today, ladies and gentlemen. As Chicago Bears have been linked to some weird stuff this offseason. But this one may be the wildest. A DJ Moore trade. Could it actually happen? Should it happen? We'll break all that down on today's episode. Also, NBA draft tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Opportunity for the Chicago Bulls to get it right. They won't. Now, we got to preview the draft, take a look at some of the pieces that we think might be interesting on this Bulls team. And, of course, do we think that the Bulls can get this thing back on track tonight? What do the Bulls have to come away with in this draft? That's the big question.
Oh, boy.
And then we got odds on what Chicago sports team will be the next team to win a championship. Ladies and gentlemen, the date is 6/25/2025, 7:03 in the morning. And Jordan JC. Good morning, brother. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Nice to have you here on time.
Thank you.
Yeah, look at you. Wide awake, bright-eyed, and bushy-tailed. I didn't even know you could do bushy-tail.
But your bushy tail.
Yeah, you got a real bushy-tail look in your face.
Feeling good. I'm great, man. Yeah, I'm back at it. Back at it again.
Got a real bushy-tail look in your face, man.
Thank you.
I guess take that for what you will. I don't know how to...
All right. It's getting a little weird. Let's move on.
Yeah, it's getting weird. Don't worry about it.
A little weird.
All right, man. Good morning to y'all. Good morning, everybody out there in the world, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as you always do. George JC, how you feeling this morning, brother?
Oh, feeling good, man. I shouldn't say I upgraded my own little bachelor pad I got here in my apartment. I showed you the picture yesterday.
Yeah.
Got a new nop table, so we're gonna be knopping at JC's house.
We can do a little nop at JC house. I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. It's hilarious because like the only point of reference that most of us have, I would assume, for your crib is like this. So
that's right.
When you showed me how big the crib was yesterday, I was like, it's kind of concerning that the birds have you like pinned in this bedroom like this.
That's all you know me for. No, I told you, I have a whole balcony. I don't go out there ever. Because the birds are just building their own little territory right there on my balcony.
You've just lost the fight.
Yeah, they got nests up in the roofing. They're constantly perching on the railing. I'm good. I'm good. I like my window.
You've just given up the fight.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. They can have it.
Fight back, JC. Come on, brother. Fight back.
Yeah, I'm staying inside.
All right, man, let's jump into the opening topic. Appreciate y'all for showing love as always, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us as always. I thought this was very interesting. First saw this on Sports Illustrated, also reported over on The Heavy. A trade that the Chicago Bears could make with the New York Jets. Now, even in the Sports Illustrated article, this is being talked about as an idiotic trade and one that essentially would piss off Caleb Williams. But for some reason, there's been a rather persistent group, and even with some writers here, that Chicago could trade more, and Paul Edson Jr. of theheavy.com recently proposed a ridiculous trade in which the Bears sent DJ Moore to the New York Jets in exchange for a 3rd-round pick, essentially adding draft capital back to the Bears' future in a team that's going through a little bit of up and down flux here. Sending DJ Moore back, though, with Justin Fields, who had DJ had his best season with. Yeah, hey, Baki.
Thank you. I was just about to say
P-Kid.
Is he the editor on this article? Like, come on.
P-Kid's the one writing the articles out here. But I think here's the question, Jordan JC. It's not because I don't think the Bears would do this. I guess starting there, right? Is this something that you really think the Bears could do? Let's break it down, because to me, this is nothing. This is off-season fodder. This is we've gotten to the 2nd week in the 6 weeks, and we are quickly running out of things to talk about.
This is nothing at all. I find it hilarious. First of all, did you mention that he would get back a 3rd-round pick?
Yes, you bring back a 3rd-round pick, which, I mean, listen, after last season, I think that's probably fair value.
Nah. Mr. Meaty says no. I don't think so. You don't go any lower than the 2nd round, okay? DJ Moore is still a very valuable piece as a wide receiver. He's still known as I'd say a top 15 wide receiver. I mean, that warrants at least a 2nd-round pick. I'm not going any lower than that. But I mean, here's the reason why I think there's just a lot of talk about this. It's because from this point, dating back to the last season, we haven't really seen the connection thrive with him and Caleb Williams. And I think people are concerned that when you have a talent like DJ Moore on the roster and you don't necessarily know how to utilize him, which I'm not saying Ben Johnson and the Bears don't. I think that they will find a way to really get them on the same page. I think Ben Johnson is that good of a teacher and an offensive mind that he'll get everybody included in on this offense. But it's almost as if there's something missing. And it seems as if Caleb Williams is just kind of maybe catering to Rome and possibly even Luther Burden. Heck, even on the simulation game that we've been playing on Madden, DJ Moore gets like 1 catch every game. It's like Luther Burden is the go-to guy. He gets 8 catches. What did he have his first game? I think he had like over 100 yards. Rome gets all the other receptions. Like so in real life and in fantasy, DJ Moore is not really regarded highly here in Chicago. And so of course an article can come out and ruffle some feathers and maybe we can get back a 3rd. And no, come on now. Now for the Jets, hey. I mean, I would take that in a heartbeat. You get Garrett Wilson and DJ Moore with Justin Fields. Now that might be deadly over there, but no, nothing burger. This is not realistic. It better not be realistic. I don't see a path to this being true. You need to find a way to make sure that Caleb and DJ Moore are on the same page this season.
And I think here's the thing, right? Like people are doing this after 1 year of Caleb. And it was his rookie season. And there were bumps and bruises in the road. That means get rid. I don't understand why that means get rid of DJ Moore. And I get it, right? There are going to be Bears that end up being moved on from because the contract is no longer as valuable. But in what world is getting rid of DJ Moore the better option than not having the team with DJ Moore? Because I haven't seen one of these trades that brings back a better player. I keep seeing draft capital. So in what world this season is making a trade for DJ Moore the better option than going into the season if we're calling last year a down year, right? Still 966 yards, still 98 receptions, still 6 touchdowns on the season, but sure, they didn't win enough. And what world is sending that player to another team better for Caleb Williams? And I think that's for me where it's like everybody's like, oh, there's so many weapons. There's too, you can't get the ball to everybody. How are you going to utilize it? You worry about the wrong stuff. That's Ben Johnson's problem.
Yeah.
And Ben Johnson's good at getting the ball to all of his weapons and using his weapon. That's why we wanted Ben Johnson. That was the whole point of Ben Johnson. So there's no world that I'm living in where it makes sense at all for the Chicago Bears to go out there and try and move on from DJ Moore. And I don't think there's a world that the Bears are living in where moving on from DJ Moore makes you a better football team in the right now or in the long term. There isn't one that exists.
No, I think you find a way to make it fit. And that's why you brought in the coaching staff that you did. I don't think the pairing of the coaching staff with DJ and Caleb yet last year was good for either one of them. And of course, we can contribute it or attribute it, I should say, to maybe bad body language. We've talked about that painstakingly with DJ Moore, and maybe that's the reason why he wanted out, or he didn't like the fact that, hey, Caleb is not really on the same page with me with these routes. We're not really in cohesion, in lockstep. So, get him out. Man, Tyson, you ready? So it's one of those things where it's like it looks like there's chaos when there isn't any chaos. I don't think. It has the look of a bad marriage with the quarterback and wide receiver one pairing. But I think that's something that can get cleared up very, very quickly. And again, it all goes back to Ben Johnson. That's why you got him in the building, because you look at Detroit, all of the different weapons that they had in Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra, like they made it work. All of those guys were used. Then none of those guys were underutilized. Like Jared Goff made sure that he gave the ball to all those guys. And so I think the same thing will happen, like I said, this year. I think that it's just a matter of time. You would have wished or would have hoped that they would have been on the same page from the start. I mean, that just makes sense because you look at every other team who has a wide receiver one. I mean, you're force feeding them the ball. And I think that's what we're not seeing here is you're not force feeding DJ Moore. When you look at DJ Moore's skill set, you can't say, well, he's kind of like a Justin Jefferson. He doesn't have the height. Maybe he's a 50-50 ball guy. Maybe he's not. But you know what the strengths are with DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, Justin Jefferson, the same size.
No, whoa, what? Justin Jefferson has got to be taller than DJ Moore. He's got to be taller.
He got 1 inch on DJ Moore.
Are you serious?
He's only 6'1", right?
Man, Justin Jefferson, for whatever reason, I keep seeing him as this long, Randy Moss-looking figure.
That's because he goes up over everybody, but he only 6'1".
Well, there you go. And like it just looks different. But that's even to my point. It's like DJ Moore just he plays a different brand of football for you as a wide receiver one than your top receivers, than your Jamar Chases, who, in my opinion, they kind of have the same look and build too. But clearly Jamar's better. My thing is you find a way to make it work. You got to find a way to make it work, and I think they will.
And I think that's the difference, right? Like people are so excited about Ben Johnson coming in and running an offense that's going to work. Like, do we think that he's not going to get DJ Moore involved in that offense? And I think you hit the nail on the head, dog. We were 4 weeks into the season. I mean, let me double check that. I believe we were 4 weeks into the season last year before DJ Moore saw 10 footballs thrown his way.
Lord have mercy.
It wasn't because we were slinging it all over the field. It was literally just, we're not looking DJ Moore's way. We're going to Keenan Allen in these moments. We're trying to get it to Rome Odunze in these moments. And I just don't see, and where I'm actually excited about is when you look at the Detroit tape, a lot of the yards from Amon-Ra come from that slot position. I think that's something that DJ Moore can thrive in. I think it's something that really can fit his game. And to me, I think it's something that when you look at how Ben Johnson probably will want to utilize DJ, like if you getting DJ the ball in the slot, he basically turns into a running back, a better running back than what you got on the roster right now. All of a sudden it's really difficult to bring this guy down, and he's got the speed to get to the outside and get leverage up going back upfield. Like, to me, like there's so much that DJ can add to this game. Now, the big question is, right, is he going to fit into the adage of no block, no rock? I think we saw, a little bit of a struggle with that last season. But you got to be bought in. And clearly nobody last year was bought into anything that the Bears were selling. Let me see. So last year, well, I guess no, he got 10 targets pretty early. Got 10 targets in that Houston game. Got 10 targets in the
those targets weren't on point though. They weren't targeted right at him.
Yeah, 6 for
Because
10, 8 for 10. And then you have 2 weeks of 6 targets, 8 targets, a lot of weeks actually. This is where the stretch begins. 6, 8, 5, 4, and then he gets back up to 9. Doesn't get back up to double-digit targets until the Detroit game.
No, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good, Bob. But no, to me, I think that, when you talk about DJ Moore, like there's a lot where I'm excited about how Ben Johnson can use him because he's such a versatile player.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so much that he brings to the table, and he's good at just about everything. So, like to me, I don't see a world where it makes sense for you to move on from DJ Moore. I don't see a world where it makes sense for the Bears, where the Bears get better by moving on from DJ Moore. And unless it becomes a problem in the locker room, I'm not even talking about trading DJ Moore.
Yeah, that's not an option. This is a special roster, in my opinion, and it's special because you have players like DJ Moore on it. So again, it's better to have him on here and trying to figure out ways to implement him more in the offense and make him the focal point, or at least get him more touches than to just say, you know what, our hands are tied. Let's just give him up for something. That's not realistic. And again, the value back in a crazy trade like that would be absurd. And then I would be scratching my head at Ryan Poles very quickly.
I think that's the thing too. Like you also have great value on his contract because of how he signed.
Yeah.
Like there is literally like no world where you've got your number one wide receiver signed to a contract that is, I mean, by the end of this thing, we're talking very team friendly.
I was about to say, yeah.
He's on a 4-year, $110 million contract. He is making by 2029, he will be making $23 million. Through the duration of this contract, he is making $23 million. And you've got a potential out in 2 years if you want to move on from him. Mm-hmm. That only hits you at $4 million in dead cap. Like, there's no benefit to moving on from him. You're giving somebody a great contract that you worked hard for.
Yeah. Now, I will say, if it's 2 years down the line and it still looks similar to what we've been saying the last season, I should say, with Caleb, then okay, there clearly needs to be a conversation of, all right, this is just not working. Something is not connecting. You got a great offensive mind in a coach here. You're making things, flow. You got all the weapons around him. So there should be no reason why, in a couple of years, this should click. So you're saying if you can kind of get out of the contract in a couple of years, then that's when I would have this kind of conversation moving forward. But again, this is too early.
And I think that's the real conversation that people want to have, right? In their minds, everybody hits. Luther Burden hits. Roma Dunze hits. Colston Loveland hits. Let me ask you this. In that world, let's say by the end of this season, Roma Dunze is clearly the number one. Luther Burden seems like he's emerging, maybe neck and neck with DJ Moore. Is that second option there. Colston Loveland looks like he's a hit, right? In that situation, do you then come out of this season and say, move on from DJ Moore? Or do you then come out of this season and say, wow, we have so many weapons, nobody's ever going to stop us. We're not moving on from DJ Moore, even though we got to pay these guys, but that's 4 years down the road. We're living a dream right now. Hold that answer. We're going to take a quick break. That's a nice little tease before we get about it. We're going to take a quick break, listening to a word from our sponsors. When we come back on the other side, I want to answer that. I want to know you guys answer in the comments, as well as get some of those up on the screen. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We'll be right back right after this. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Ladies and gentlemen, we got merch. That's right. New website, new merch, all out. We've been telling you guys to pull up on us. Now you can at twcbreeze.com, where you can find out all of the latest stuff going on. What all can they find there, Super Producer?
Listen, you can join the nation, sign up to our mailing list, and be up to date for events and news. You can also visit the shop page and order merch, because we have t-shirts, we got hoodies, we got mugs, we got hats, we got all kind of stuff. So, hey, we appreciate you being tuned in with us. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on all our socials. Check us out at twcbreeze.com.
He's way too excited.
I am.
Never gets old.
I love that. I love it every time it happens. Like you get chased.
Joe was like, yeah, I made that for a beat battle. I was like, who you going up against? The Eggman? Like,
I'd rather hear that in a video game. It's like a chase scene.
Oh, dog. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. You know
Gravity falls out.
Mason Brown.
That's funny.
Hey, man. 1:30 in the building on the YouTube. So hold on, Georgia.
Oh.
Over 100 in the chat. Over 200 in the chat.
Okay.
200.
Ah.
Hey, man, let's get over 100 likes on the YouTube side, man. We got less than 30 likes on the YouTube side. Y'all wilding right now.
Wow.
Y'all wilding and childish right now.
Wilding
and childish. I got to bring that back. I used to do that on TikTok. Before we went into the break, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Ask the question. Let's say the Chicago Bears hit the ground running. Boom! Poston Loveland, dominant.
Oh.
Roma Dunze, God.
Woo!
Luther Burden, Demon.
Luther.
DJ Moore is existing in the offense.
Yeah.
Let's not even say existing. Let's say he's still playing well. Him and Luther Burden neck and neck. But clearly you've got your number one. Clearly you've got your main guy. In that situation, are you coming out of this season and saying, I'm fine with moving on from DJ Moore. Let's make a trade. Let's get some draft capital in here and try and add to other parts of this team?
To be very clear, because I saw during the break, a lot of people thought you meant mid-season trade. We're talking about at the end of this season, if DJ Moore is neck and neck with
whenever. I mean, if you want to trade a mid-season, that'd be crazy.
You want to go mid-season too? Okay.
Whenever. If you feel like everybody else is hitting, Caleb Williams is dominating, the Ben Johnson system is working, footballs are being dotted everywhere. DJ Moore is on par to have a good season, but maybe isn't the number one guy in this offense. Are you moving on from DJ Moore?
I'm going to take it from the aspect of if the season has ended and you're looking at the overall stats, you're looking at the production from every single player on this team on offense, and DJ is kind of in the middle of the pack. There's a conversation that needs to be had about maybe moving on from him. If Luther Burden in year one is already showing the talent that he has, I mean, by the end of the season, him and just Caleb are on another page, just linking up. And then, of course, Rome taking that next step and becoming a star player at the wide receiver position. He kind of takes over that wide receiver one spot. Then I would say yes. Then the money starts to not look that good, even though it's team friendly. I would say we have enough weapons here where I would be okay with moving on from DJ Moore for the foreseeable future. And I understand some are saying, well, you got to keep in mind injury. Keep your good players because you never know who gets hurt. Well, I mean, quite honestly, we got a slew of receivers here. If I'm worried about that, then that means we don't have enough stars. Well, I like you. You have Zacchaeus, you got Duvernay, you got Rome, you got
You got a
Luther,
lot
you
of
got
weapons on this
Fulton,
team.
you got a lot of weapons. So one leaving is not going to worry me when it comes to injury. That's part of the game, but also trades are part of the game as well. You like if you're not doing your part by the end of the season, if DJ Moore doesn't look like the wide receiver one that we paid him to be, what that means is that there's some sort of disconnect in Ben Johnson's office with him. I believe that Ben Johnson will do everything within his power to allow DJ to look like how he did with his best season with Justin Fields. He's going to attempt to do that. And if that doesn't look the way it should this year, then I'm not blaming Ben Johnson. That's how much trust I have in the coach and how mad I think he is with making sure that everybody is in lockstep. You've seen how the practices have gone with him holding everybody accountable from the top to the bottom of the roster. And so if that's the case, then there's something wrong, I think, with DJ by the end of the season. I think DJ has some sort of disconnect with either the coach, with what he's requesting of him outside of catching the ball. When you say no block, no rock, maybe there's a disconnect there where maybe during the season he's not doing a good of a job in all the other small areas, on all the other details. And so you factor all that in, I'm like, okay, well, maybe now it's time to move on.
I mean, listen, if we're saying in the scenario that Rome becomes the number one, like he's not getting number one targets. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not, you drafted Rome top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Goal is for Rome to become the number one. You're not trying to live in a world where DJ is your number one when a young top 10 pick is it like your goal is for you to be looking over there Rome Odunze and being like, wow, he's really freaking good. He's one of the 10 best players that was selected out of that draft. I think even the conversation with Luther Burden is kind of in line with that. Like your expectation is for these young dudes to hit here. I don't think that takes away from DJ Moore though. And to me, honestly, like I don't think it signifies a problem at all. I think it just means that the pecking order may have changed. And if DJ Moore is fine with the pecking order changing, $23 million for a number 2 wide receiver is nothing. Like you're still in a good position, especially with the salary cap rising every year and rising in ridiculous ways. And the TV money is about to get stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, I just there's no world where unless you need to open up money for a major name that's going to be on the market, you need to open up, right? Like I'm also still the guy who will always trade wide receivers for flexibility to go out and add really good pass rushers or flexibility to go out and add really good offensive linemen. Like I am like, listen, I didn't want to trade Cole Kmet, but if it meant I could get Trey Hendrickson, I'll see you later. You know, I didn't want to trade Jalen Johnson, but if it means I can get Myles Garrett on the other side of it, hey, I love you. I'll let you later, my guy. There now. Like there are always situations where it's like, yeah, I'll give up this player for this player because this player makes up more and makes this team more successful than what you can do because you are somebody that needs either the ball thrown your way or I guess in both situations, the ball thrown your way for you to make an impact versus this guy who on every single play can make an impact. So I'm not going to say there's no world where I'm trading DJ Moore, but it is literally a world of, especially if he's not the number 1 guy and maybe he's the number 2A, however you want to call it. There is a world where I'm sitting there going, yeah, you know, like I think that this guy over here, the next Trey Hendrickson or, you know, the next Myles Garrett, he's disgruntled and wants to get out. Trade DJ Moore. Open up the money. But I think that's a different conversation than just, do you trade them because other pieces are hitting? I don't think that makes sense to me.
Yeah, shout out to Jay Grizz. I saw this comment a page is up. It says getting rid of DJ gives me getting rid of Demont and Roquan Smith vibes. I'm not necessarily going to agree with that because Roquan Smith was literally the best linebacker in football at the time. We took a chance on getting two linebackers that could give you equal or better production at more than one position. DJ Moore is not the best at his position. David Montgomery also. I could see maybe more of a similarity with that comparison. But, you know, when it comes to that, again, those guys, they gave ultimate effort and production when they were on the team. They were the best version of themselves on this team. Like, you didn't deny that David Montgomery wasn't doing his job. Like, he gave you the yards after contact. He gave you the tough yards. He was someone that you relied on constantly in the backfield. Roquan Smith, multiple tackles, heat-seeking missile, great in coverage. Like he did everything when he was on this team. If DJ Moore does that, then yeah, you're not trading him. If DJ Moore compares to the likes of those two, you're not trading him at all, because that means that he's doing his job. That he's living up to the standard that you have for him. My only problem is, does he live up to the standard of the football team now, the standard and the culture of the team now? And so if that is anything, how can I put this? If that shows up anything less than what Ben Johnson is trying to coach up for this team, that's why I see a path to him leaving. I understand that he's a talented player, and you're saying, oh, well, now that we got all these good players, you want somebody to go that's a good player. That happens all the time in the league. If you're not really living up to your potential, then possibly, as you mentioned, you know, you give them away for someone who can come in and contribute right away. I think that you can find that. And as you mentioned, edge rusher, that's another position that's needed, you know, opposite Montez Sweat. That's the path that I see us going in. If by the end of the season, we're having real questions and real articles about, does DJ Moore actually still belong in this team? And so, again, we will see. We will see how it looks coming up this season.
No, yeah, I think that does make the biggest difference with all of this. I mean, at the end of the day, if Ben Johnson says, hey, I don't need DJ Moore, then you move on from DJ Moore.
You see something. Yeah.
Like that's really what it is. If Ben Johnson goes, yeah, we could trade him. That's really the situation where you move on from DJ Moore. But I don't think Ben Johnson's living in that world. Ben Johnson likes having his weapons.
Yeah.
You know? Oh boy, this guy's got a lot of weapons, doesn't he? It's gonna be fun.
Idiot.
No, Waldron didn't deserve that straight. Okay, maybe.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yeah, maybe he did. Maybe he did. Anybody want to watch some film? Oh, that's the wrong way. Anybody want to watch some film? Anybody?
You don't need it.
Hey, Caleb, you don't need
it.
Yeah,
that him too. That's where it was, and this is where it happened. Get out of here. Trying to defend your OC. Both of you guys.
That's what I saw. That's where it was. That's where it lied. And you know, we're gonna leave a dead dog there. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Russia crasher. Shut up.
What? Hey man, let's keep this thing moving along. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to the show. Love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. NBA draft is tonight, Jordan JC.
Oh,
NBA draft tonight. And Chicago Bulls currently sit 12th in the draft. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Jordan JC. There's one thing that I need the Chicago Bulls to do tonight. I want to get your thoughts on this. There's only one thing you need to leave the draft with, because I see all the comments, I see all the conversations, right? Oh my God, we need a big man that can block shots. Oh God. Oh, we need a two-way wing. We haven't had one since Scottie Pippen. Oh God. Oh, we need somebody that can bring the ball up and handle. Oh God, we need so much. This team's terrible. They are. You need an answer. You can't come out of this draft with Dalen Terry. You can't come out of this draft with somebody who is a question mark, who you see high upside in. Now, I talked about this over on the Chicago Bulls Breeze. If you want more Bulls coverage, make sure to tap in with us over there on the Chicago Bulls Breeze. Special surprise coming on the Chicago Bears Breeze, so tap in with us over there as well.
Hello.
But you need answers. I don't care if it's a two-way wing. I don't care if it's a big man that plays on both ends. I don't care if it's a defensive juggernaut at the center position. I don't care if you got enough. You need an answer. You need somebody who's going to go out there and every single night you go, can we pencil you in for this? Doesn't matter who it is in the draft, how you come away with it, find an answer. And it seems like you need an answer for a team that is a locked in core that you're keeping together, because it doesn't seem like Kobe White is going anywhere on this team. And so you're rolling through with Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Modest Buzelis, as your next four players, as your young core. We don't know who that player is yet. That's his name.
I love it. I love it.
From State.
No. All right. No, I do not. I do not see the Bulls. Well, first of all, I do think the Bulls are, for whatever reason, are going to get it right. That sounds weird, but I do think that the Bulls will get it right. Even if they stand pat at 12
in this draft.
No, well, the Bulls have gotten it wrong plenty of times.
Well, that's my point.
Modest Buzelis was a hit. I think Modest Buzelis is about to turn into something special. I don't think I'm wrong on that. I really do think Modest is going to be a hit. I think he'll make up for the whole Patrick Williams blunder and all that. But this draft, I think there are a lot of pieces that will contribute or have the ability to contribute right away. You already know the guy that I'm looking for at number 12. I've loved him since day one. I've talked about Derek Queen a lot at the center position out of Maryland. I think that's the way you go, because if you look at, I did say Maryland, didn't I? Maryland. How do you Maryland? Hey, whatever, man. I'm going Maryland. M-A-R-R-Y. M-A-R-R-Y-L-A-N-D.
You made it sound like
the land, all right?
The Duloc Castle, from Shrek.
Maryland.
Mouth, wipe your face. Duloc is.
I have not seen that in a minute. I'm forgot about that crap.
That's how Maryland sounds.
Maryland. But I really like Derek Queen's the guy, and I know a lot of people are saying, well, he might be a bit overhyped. At 12, I think he's perfect at that position, at that for that value at that drafting position. Can do it all. I'm more impressed about his ability to facilitate and to kind of from the big man position, be able to get other players involved. You know, that's the reason why I'm high on him. Obviously, you've seen what he can do in the paint. Decent free throw shooter. Like, he has a lot of tools and skill set in his game. And that's what I think you need moving forward with this pieces. We already got a gang of point guards. You know, whether you want to say Kobe White's still in that conversation. Obviously, Josh Giddey is the lead point guard for this team now. You know, you got Kevin Huerter, you got Ayo Dosunmu. And so I think you need a big man. Obviously, Vucevic is getting up there in age. He's probably going to be wanting to go somewhere else. I know, I understand. Vooch needs to go. He's the last piece of the last version of this team. And I'm kind of tired of seeing him on this squad. Like, nothing personally against Vooch, but we've been needing to move on from him for quite some time. And so, you know, you get someone to replace him, and I think that Derek Queen can come in and replace his production in a sense. You know, he can be that double-double guy. He can be that interior presence, that defensive presence as well. I think he can do it all at the center position, and so that's the route I'm going.
Yeah, listen, I think Derek Queen is an interesting one. Defensive questions for me for sure. I think that, you know, you love the offensive game, but he kind of is Vooch. Like, for somebody who hates Vooch, he's kind of Vooch.
I think he's better than Vooch.
He's pretty much Vooch.
Potentially.
He's pretty much Vooch. Let me see if I got this right. Right? Let me write it down.
All right, okay.
He's an elite post scorer.
Yep.
Great basketball IQ.
Yeah.
All right.
Can shoot.
Strong in the mud. The shooting streaky. Which makes him even more Vooch. But very strong. really good playmaker, rebounding machine.
I think he's a better facilitator and a better player that gets his others involved more than Vooch. I think he has the potential to be better. I don't know. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
He's literally young Vooch.
Don't you besmirch Derek Queen.
Which is not bad. No, this is the thing. When we talk about Vooch like Vooch is bad, it's just not what you want. That's why it's funny. That's why it's funny that you rock with Derek Queen heavily, because it's like he's literally Vooch.
He's literally Vooch. Whatever.
He's a younger version of Vooch. And young Vooch was cold. Young Vooch was
young Vooch was cold. Young Orlando Vooch was cold.
You know what I mean? If we're being honest, like I was having this conversation with Hayes the other day. I was like, Vooch is gonna go down as like a top 20 Bull. I think I had him higher than that. I think I said top 10 at first. And
I agree with that.
It was too far. Yeah, he's like top 15. But like I was like, Vooch is gonna go down as a top 20 Bull. Like Vooch is bald. Vooch is better than Carlos Boozer.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Carlos was nice, but I definitely agree with that.
It don't mean that I think it speaks more to our franchise than anything that basically all of our good players came in like 2 runs. But it's like the Derrick Rose years, the Jordan years. There you go. It's your top 20 players. But it's for me, when I look at this draft, go with Derek Queen. I don't mind. I think Derek Queen's a fine player. I think there's other pieces that I would like more. I'm a big Cedric Coward guy. That's been my number one guy. He's flown up draft boards, and I know people are scared of that. Cedric Coward, bro, give me the mindset. Pair him up with Modest Buzelis, bro. Like, if you can find a way to get that young man in here. He's got a 7'2" wingspan, I think.
That's ridiculous.
He's 6'6". He's got one of the prettiest strokes in basketball right now as far as shooting the 3 ball. You got to say that quicker. He's got. I mean, like, there's nothing he doesn't do well. There's nothing he doesn't do well. Well, he didn't play against the best competition. I understand that. Sometimes basketball just translates.
I've seen video of him more and more ever since you talked about him. If it ain't Derek Queen, I'm gonna be honest with you, it better be Cedric Coward, because it's not just the game for me. Like when you mentioned it, it's the way he kind of goes about speaking on it's the IQ and the mentality.
Got the right mindset. Yeah,
he has the right mindset.
High IQ player. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I heard in one of the clips is that him talking about the path that a lot of players take to getting to the NBA. Some, go through the G League, some go through overseas, but it's really about like how hungry are you, in wanting to be great. And he just has that maturity already in the way that he speaks that you really want out of a young player. And you mentioned like the Ant comparisons. Now, the only thing I haven't seen is his ability to get up like Ant, but you mentioned that, hey, his wingspan is ridiculous, where it doesn't necessarily have to look like that.
When I compare him to
scary.
Ant, I'm comparing him more in his mindset and how he goes about his business on the court. That's why he reminds me of Ant. He's dominant. He's about, I'm gonna be good at basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, son, what are you good at? Basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Why should we select you? Basketball. Like, I do all this, but like basketball, I'm really good at it. And players like that, I think that's the kind of players you need. You need Modest Buzelis. You need Anthony Edwards in this upcoming NBA that we're about to enter into, because these boys ain't about to be friends with each other like that. Like off the court, they might be like how Jordan and them was, but on the court, ain't no kikiing on the side. Ain't no we figuring it like they going to war. I watched Tyrese Halliburton call Muggs a band on the court before he tore his Achilles. Like, these young boys going to war. Like, we throwing bands out from Tyrese Halliburton. Which voice was he using?
You see his dad. You see where he get it from.
Yeah.
I know Tyrese is a little light skinned, but he got the dark in him.
Everybody light skinned till it's time to put that basketball in the hoop. You know what I mean? Come on, mother.
No,
Tyrese was snapping. He was like, keep playing. Whoa,
hey, whoa, Ty,
come back.
Relax.
You've been hanging out in Gary. What you doing
No,
in Gary, man?
I think the potential of a lot of players. I mean, I have a couple of names that I look at, and they're kind of out of the range unless something crazy happens where the Bulls trade up. But I'm not expecting that. Like, I don't know if AK is going to. I think AK is going to sit right where he's at. I don't see a path where they're going to trade up. But you think of names like that have come up where Ace Bailey is kind of trending downward for whatever reason. Ace Bailey could be a name that falls, because. I don't know. That's just named it. Apparently he's not getting as much traction.
The fear with Ace Bailey is that it's there's a work ethic issue.
Work ethic issue.
There's a work ethic issue. There's a just defensively. You've got how much effort is he giving on the defensive end? Like there's questions on him. To me, I think this is the post draft or the pre-draft panic that everybody's in. Ace Bailey ain't falling past 6. Ace Bailey, there's no way Washington is trying to improve their team, and they're gonna let Ace Bailey go past them.
And they just did a trade, right? Didn't they just trade for CJ?
For CJ McConnell.
Got rid of Poole and I think Edie or not Edie. I can't remember the guy. He used to be on the Detroit Pistons, but
what was the trade? Let me see what the trade was here. CJ McCollum trade. Bro, that was a Jordan Poole was sent in that trade. CJ McCollum was traded, and who else was
Sadiq Bey, right?
Sadiq Bey, yep. Sadiq Bey is in there as well. Yeah, that was a trade for like, hey, we trash. Hey,
let's try something else.
Hey, let's switch our trash around. See if we can still be trash.
Turn it into treasure.
CJ McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, and a future second to the Washington Wizards for Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and the number 40 overall pick in the NBA draft today.
Yeah. So that might be a team that might need Ace Bailey's services. But again, it is exciting. I know you mentioned the name, the center out of Duke. I can't get his name right. Malak.
Yeah. I don't know. I forgot his name.
If you want to go defensive interior presence, that's a guy that could be a guy for the Bulls. I would rather have a guy who can score a little bit more and he can kind of do it all. But there's a number of options. Even your buddy from Illinois, I'm following him, even though he kind of fell off a little bit. Jocko Jonas. You don't want Jocko Jonas?
That boy trash.
Wow, you trash Gaspars?
Literal doo-doo
water. Whoa. You think he needs to stay in college one more year?
KJ needs to be better at basketball.
I think his motor needs to be better because he was killing in the beginning of the year where it was like, oh, this guy's top 5. Then for whatever reason, he just kind of fizzled out and he didn't stop. He stopped dominating. He stopped taking over games in the way that he looked like he was in the beginning of the season.
KJ is bad versus any team you actually need to beat to improve your record.
Okay. So the real challenge is like when it comes time to actually play against the best of the best, that's when he kind of like is like it's
best of the best. Just like, show up versus like your rival. Show up versus, Michigan. Show up versus Michigan State. You know what I mean?
Missouri.
Like, important games. Just show up. You know what I mean? Like it's cool that you got 18 versus the meat school of Mr. Meaty. You know what I mean? Like that's cool. I'm glad that you
don't you talk about my school.
Enjoyed that, yeah. Like that mug's trash. Yeah, no, I'll be pissed we end up with KJ.
Don't you
you'll see me flip the table tonight.
That would be
hey, I'm an Illinois fan, bro. I'm an Illinois fan. I see stuff through Illinois glasses. Like ain't that logical about Illinois. I think we can win the national championship every single year.
And we're not gonna win it.
I'm not logical with that team. That boy cheeks.
Every roster is always good until it's not. Well, what do you think about Will Riley?
Idea.
Ooh. Hey, Denny kind of coming along now. But I know what you mean as far as coming out of college. Yeah.
Yeah, you want him?
Denny? I'll take Denny right now.
Over Giddy?
No.
Oh, well.
I didn't mean that point guard. I mean, it's whatever. I'm not taking Diddy. Yeah,
Nah,
never
that boy
mind.
cheap.
What about Will Riley? You like Will Riley out of Illinois? You see his potential. He kind of came on strong at the
Will
end of
Riley,
the year.
okay.
Will Riley is nice.
Will Riley need to stick around
He's got
college.
some potential. Okay, all right, fine.
But no, again, the other dude for me is Thomas Sorber. Again, I my big thing is
I like
come
that.
away from this draft with answers.
Yeah,
I'm fine with you coming out of this draft with a Taj Gibson. That's what some of these mugs remind me of. Like you look at, and it's like, and what I mean by that is, right? Taj was a fine player for years. Was he the best player taken out of that draft? Actually, he probably was one of the better players taken out of that draft. I haven't looked at the Taj Gibson draft.
let me see.
But when you come away with a player like that just knows his game, knows his skill set, knows how to play the game, that to me is a win in your book. And it's something
no,
that
he definitely wasn't.
What was that? Oh, that's 2009.
2009, 26 overall pick. That was Blake,
26
James
overall
Harden,
day,
Stephen Curry.
We was winning a lot though.
Yeah, we were. We had a good
winning
team.
a lot. That's a great pickup for
26. Yeah. But at 12, I need a guy that's a little bit more potential than Taj. I don't know. I need something a little better.
Well, my thing is you want to come away with something that you know is going to be, oh yeah, this is a draft right here.
Stephen Curry.
Wait, you in 09?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is right. Blake Griffin went 1. Hasheem Thabit. Oh well, he already better than the second pick in the draft.
He is. Thabit was trash.
James Harden. Give me Taj over Tyreek Evans. Give me Taj over Ricky Rubio. Give me Taj over Johnny Flynn.
After his rookie year.
Okay, Stephen Curry. Yeah, don't give me Taj over. Give me Taj over Jordan Hill. DeMar DeRozan's pretty good.
DeMar was in that draft?
Yeah, 09. Brandon Jennings.
That's a nice draft.
Give me BJ over Taj. Give me Taj over Terrence Williams. Taj over Gerald Henderson. Taj over Tyler Hansbrough. Taj over Earl Clark. I forgot about Earl Clark. He was
Earl Clark I thought was nice
Taj
coming
over
out.
Austin Day. Give me
I
Taj
he was
over
gonna be
James
nice.
Johnson, who we selected.
Jesus. Wake Forest, James Johnson. Oh boy.
Give me Taj over Drew Holiday. No, I'm joking. No.
Even don't tell James Johnson that though. Just make sure
Yeah, you watch yourself now. Listen, the run later was so much better. Drew Holiday went, Ty Lawson went, Jeff Teague went, Derek Collison went, Taj Gibson went. That's kind of the end.
That's a nice overall draft, though. That's very
good
good draft. Very good overall.
Matt Bev goes in the second round of that draft.
Oh, there we go.
Danny Green goes in the second round of that draft.
All right, yeah, he's good. He's good role player.
Patty Mills goes in the second round of that draft.
Patty Mills, very good on the Spurs. Yeah,
pretty good draft.
There you go.
No, but I think for me, right, if you're the Bulls, your goal is just to come out of this with a player that you don't have to worry about, because the goal is, I think it's like you said, I think Modest does take a step this season. I think Modest does move into the right direction. All he's been doing is hooping and lifting. I don't know if you've seen these streams. They literally just eat food and lift.
Good.
That's all him and Io are doing. They are jacked. And I'll be honest with you, I do wonder this. Now, this does scare me a little bit, but it could happen because we don't think of Modest as 6'10".
Mm-hmm.
Could you see maybe the Bulls go a different direction and maybe you get some I don't even know if you can call it small ball 5 for Modest, but get some center play from Modest Buzelis.
If he beefs up, yeah. I mean, look at the position, look at the center that they put out. What I mean, he came in a little skinny, I think, because who's the other guy that with the goggles that we got from Indiana? I keep forgetting his name, but Stakes. Yeah, he's at center. I don't think he's that much bigger or even bigger than Modest Buzelis. So yeah, if you want to play him a little bit at center, that would be nice. I can see him taking advantage of
208. Modest is 6'10".
Jalen Smith, thank you, King.
Came in 209.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Leave Modest where you at. Don't put Modest at center.
I mean, if he in the gym all doggone day and eating protein,
piss me off. No, you leave him right where he at.
20 pounds of muscle and look like Giannis, like they say he is.
You let him stay right where he at. Let him play the 3-4. And I mean, I don't want to see that boy at the 5. That's what they tried to do to Patrick Williams. Oh, make him a 4. You get it. Oh God, this guy sucks. Hey man, we have one more topic, but we ain't gonna get to it because Muzz got to go to work and stuff like that. Appreciate y'all
Oh,
for tuning
boy.
in, showing love. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We'll get to that topic tomorrow after we talk about who the Chicago Bulls
Nice.
end up drafting. Make sure to tune in with us over on the Chicago Bulls Breeze tonight. We'll be live for the NBA draft tonight. And reacting to who the Bulls do end up coming away with. I think that's also available on playback, so we'll probably be live on playback as well. Tune in with us over there. Shout out to It's Crimson. 75 days until Bears football return. Who's Bears? 5? Who's
Isn't that what's your boy's name? Long, Kyle Long?
Is Kyle Long 75?
He was. I think he was 75.
I know Larry Barome right now is wearing
Barone. I'd rather do Kyle.
I don't think anybody else wore 75.
I don't think it was Kyle Long. I could have been wrong. I think it was Kyle Long.
I don't think it was.
I want to say Kyle Long.
Kyle Long?
Yeah, Kyle Long. He might have worn it.
75. God dang. That man's
dang right.
Dang it. What a call.
I know
Hey,
my
man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For Mr. Media himself, George JC, it's your boy Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bed down. Well, see you.
Ozzy Trapillo? Is Ozzy Trapillo 75?
Oh, yeah, he is, ain't he?
Oh, well, let's go Trapillo then.
I don't know why I thought Kevin Love was 76.
Kevin Love.
Kevin Love, shut up, Kyle Long. I don't know how I got to Kevin Love.
We talking basketball.
Just KL. Just KL. Just send me straight to Kevin Love.
Shout out Cal Love.